What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we've got nearly every Galaxy Opal on a tier list that I'm going to be ranking for you guys. Now, the Galaxy Opals that aren't going to be featured are one of two things. Either Galaxy Opals that are really not good, or Galaxy Opals that came out like season 3 or before. And again, if you want to see where they rank, I've got other, tier lists that should be able to help you guys out as far as that is concerned. But hopefully, this video can help you guys out if you guys are deciding who are some of your best Galaxy Opals in the game, considering we've seen some really solid Galaxy Opals recently. So that's kind of my goal, what I want to hopefully help you guys with. As we do dive into it, again, if you are new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Larry Johnson up first. Mid. Larry Johnson is not that great. If you locked in for Larry, it's okay, but the card is not that good. And so if that's you, I'm not hating on Larry Johnson. That's not the goal of this. My goal is not to be like, yeah, Larry stinks, and if you've got Larry, you should look elsewhere. Nope, that's not my goal. My goal is just to tell you guys, like, I honestly just don't think Larry Johnson is that elite on this game. I just think he's D tier, and I'm sorry. Alonzo Mourning, I don't think he's great either. And so maybe both these cards are C tier because they're not that bad. But it's just like neither of these cards are cards that I would be like super stoked. If you get like let's say you get that 97 plus pack, and these are the two guys you get, Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning, I would not necessarily be super pleased. So again, I'm not saying that these cards are that bad. They're just not my favorite. Jimmy Butler, I'm going to go B tier. I don't think I put Galaxy Opal Kawhi on this list. He'd probably be B tier as well. The reason I didn't put him on this list is because he came out a while ago. Unless, he happens to be on this list, which again, I don't think I ultimately put him on this list. Jimmy Butler, B tier. I don't love him, but he is solid. The big O, Oscar Robertson, I still think he's A tier. I know the card came out a very long time ago. I get that. But I still think Oscar is an absolute beast in this game. I'm putting him at A tier. I think the card is just a stud. LeBron James up next, S tier. If you don't have LeBron at S tier, a newsflash, you don't know ball. Simply put, like, if you don't have him at S tier, I'm sorry, but you genuinely do not know ball. One of the best Galaxy Opals in the entire game. Probably, I'm not saying for sure, your best Galaxy Opal small forward. Obviously, there's another one, which I'll talk about eventually, that I play at the 4. A lot of people play him at small forward, but LeBron is just really good on this game, S tier. Baron Davis, D tier. The card stinks. Elton Brand, I'm gonna go C tier with Elton Brand. I think Elton Brand's just as good as Larry Johnson. The card's not, anything crazy, but I do think C tier is where he belongs. James Worthy, I've got to put James Worthy in here because, he obviously was a free card in Triple Threat today, but James Worthy's just not great. I even think C tier is gassing him a little bit. I don't know. That's where I'm going to put him as C tier, but I don't ultimately think the card is like that great. So C tier is fine, but again, I'm not that high on James Worthy. Elgin Baylor, F tier. And honestly, again, I'm not saying like you can't use him, but it's just like he's F tier, man. Pau Gasol, C tier, just not great. Like if you're running Pau Gasol, I'd eventually try to change him out. Giannis Antetokounmpo, S tier, one of the best power forward, small forwards in the entire game. He is that good. Giannis, S tier. Jason Kidd, I actually don't mind Jason Kidd. Is B tier putting him too high? Maybe, but that's where I'm going to put him right now. I think Jason Kidd is extremely solid on this game, and if that's your point guard, he's fine. 6'4", plays defense, really solid. Kevin Durant, Galaxy Opal KD plays more defense than the Pink Diamond KD by a ton. I just still think offensively he's not that good. So I'm going to put him at B tier. I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's that good on this game. T-Mac, I don't think T-Mac's as bad as people make him out to be. I do think his rhythm shooter is broken, which hurts his value a little bit. I'm going to go C tier. But if you want to have him higher or lower, again, I'm not going to argue it. I haven't, used T-Mac a ton. Tim Duncan, I think Tim Duncan's A tier. And again, as we go through this, maybe we'll have to change some things around, but I think Tim Duncan's still to this day a really good power forward in this game. Is he as good as a guy like is he as good at power forward as a guy like Giannis? No. Like Giannis objectively is better, but Tim Duncan is really solid. Will Chamberlain, I go back and forth on this because I know everybody, and I'm irritated because I know everybody loves Wilt on this game. But at the end of the day, like, Wilt cannot shoot consistently. And when I tell you guys that, like, his release is super baited. He's got a low 3-ball. And so when people are like, yeah, Ty, Wilt's good, his release is this, his release is that, I'm just sitting there like, I mean, I guess A tier, I guess for Will. If I want to move him up, it'd be to S, or if I want to move him, it'd be to S tier, but I don't think the card's that. I don't know. I don't think he's worth that. Chris Bosh up next. Chris Bosh gets a lot of slander. And is Chris Bosh the best big in the game on this Galaxy Opal list? No. But I don't think he's that bad. I think he deserves C tier. Andre Kirilenko is a beast, is an absolute stud. I think I got to go A tier, though. I don't think he's, the LeBron, Giannis type level. Marc Gasol. I don't see it with Marc Gasol, and I genuinely mean that. A lot of people want to gas Marc Gasol from his speed to everything else. I just don't see it with the card. I'm going to go C tier. DeMarcus Cousins, F tier. I got him. I've used him. He is absolutely horrible, F tier. Penny Hardaway up next. He's better than Oscar slightly, probably, so I think I got to go S tier with Penny. Is a little bit, I would say, slightly outdated at this stage. So, I mean, again, if you don't want him to be at that S tier, that's fine. But that's where I'm putting him for this tier list. Carmelo Anthony up next, and I know people want to gas him. I guess same tier as KD, because, I mean, he's better than James Worthy and Larry Johnson. But neither of the cards are that great. I'd take Andre Kirilenko over both of them every day of the week. David Robinson, one of the best big men on this list. At the center position, I am taking David Robinson over Wilt Chamberlain, and I know people are not going to like that, but I am. Now, here's the question. Does that mean D-Rob deserves that S tier? I mean, that's where things get really tough. I don't know. And I don't want to hate on him, but I think A tier is probably where he belongs. Dirk is not that bad. I'd go as far as saying I think Dirk's better than any of these other bigs, at least same tier. So I'm gonna go C tier because I think he is on the same tier of those types of guys. But I honestly think Dirk is underrated. And I know a lot of people are gonna disagree, but I think Dirk is actually really good on this game. That step back going left is just so cheesy. I do think Anthony Davis is slightly better than Dirk though, so I'm gonna put AD at B tier. I don't think AD is as good as D-Rob at center, and I don't think he's as good as Wilt either, so I think B tier is the right tier for Anthony Davis. Xavier McDaniel up next. He's fine. I think C tier is probably the right tier because if you're asking me Xavier McDaniel or a guy, let's say like James Worthy, I'm probably taking Xavier McDaniel, genuinely. Next up, Kawhi Leonard. I did put him on the list because he is really good. A tier for Kawhi. I mean, you could argue S tier, but I do think A tier is probably going to end up being the right tier for Kawhi Leonard. 6'7", his defensive, ability is off the charts good. Offensively, he's fine. Not necessarily outstanding. Ja Morant, D tier. He's just fine. Klay Thompson, D tier. At this stage of cards, not great. John Wall up next is still really good. I just wish, I don't know. There's something about John Wall defensively I'm not in love with. The card's still not bad. I still do believe he is A tier. But anything higher than A tier, I think you're gassing John Wall quite a bit. His release is really good though. Yao Ming up next. I think you've got to go S with Yao though, right? I think when it comes down to it, Yao is an S tier caliber card, and I don't necessarily love that because, again, he is overpriced. The card's stats aren't that good, but at 7'6", he rebounds the ball incredibly well. He's got to go at S tier, but I don't love Yao. Does that all make sense? I don't love Yao, but he does deserve S tier. And it doesn't really sound right, but I think it makes sense. Yalen, A tier. His release is good. Player build's good. I mean, if Tim Duncan's going to be A tier, Yalen's got to be A tier. Paul George, I don't think he's that much better than the Pink Diamond Paul George, but if you don't have Galaxy Opal Paul George at S tier, you don't know ball. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but that's the truth. I mean, Paul George is the real deal. Every time I use Paul George, I get higher and higher on the card. Paolo Banchero, I don't care. He's S tier too. Again, the Diamond Paolo, the Diamond Paul George are just nearly as good as the Pink Diamond Paul George, the Diamond Paolo are just as good as the Opals, but the Opals are still good. Zach LaVine, he's got to go S tier too, and I'm moving Penny Hardaway down because of that. And because of that, I'm moving you down, and I'm moving you down. I like this a little more because Zach LaVine, in my opinion, has separation as that best Galaxy Opal point guard in the game. I think he's got some separation there. So it's where I'm at with things. Again, you guys don't have to agree with me, but that's where I'm at with Zach LaVine at that point guard position. Arvydas Sabonis is a trash can, F tier. And I would go as far as saying, is he unusable? I mean, you could use him. I just don't think the card is ultimately that great. So I am going to throw Arvydas Sabonis at that F tier. Isaiah Thomas, honestly, I don't think he's that bad. I'm going to throw him at F tier, but he's usable because his release is super good. Bob McAdoo is just undersized, man. And it's I think he is better than Anthony Davis, but it's a tough debate because I feel like AD should be up here. I'm doing it, man. I don't know what we're going to do at the power forward position at B tier, but I think Bob McAdoo's A tier. I think AD is A tier. I think Yalen is A tier. And so I don't know what I'm going to do, because eventually I might have to move some guys up, move some guys down. But that might be eventually, because I think all of those cards do deserve that A tier. Zion, F tier. Card's not good. Victor Wembanyama, S tier. Probably the best, not even probably, he is the best card that we will talk about today. Definitely way better than Yao Ming, the best center in the game. And it's, you know, I mean, not particularly close. Damian Lillard, D tier. Release still really quick, really fast. Decent card. Darius Garland, F tier. Jaylen Brown, release is just horrible for JB. Defensively is okay. I'm going to throw him a D tier, but I don't love the card whatsoever. Cade Cunningham, I'm going to say this. I think Zach LaVine is better than Cade Cunningham. Now, with that being said, I think both cards are S tier, okay? So, because I think it's preference between Cade and Zach LaVine. I genuinely do. I just prefer Zach LaVine. So, who am I to tell you guys who to prefer? That's just me. Both cards are S tier. Tyler Hero up next. Not great. C tier. Like, if you look at what they did to the card, a lot of cards in that All-Star drop saw, like, changed or better releases. Release on quick, very quick. He didn't see any improvements. Pascal Siakam, D tier. The card's not good. Anthony Edwards, D tier. The card's not good. James Harden is really good on this game. Now, I do know there's a dark matter James Harden, but that doesn't mean Galaxy Opal James Harden still isn't A tier. Still sees the release sped up. Still offensively is one of your better point guards in the game. Obviously, I like Zach LaVine Cade more, but I think James Harden does deserve that A tier. Jaren Jackson Jr. up next. He's our best power forward, in my opinion, that we've went over today. I think he's better than Wilt. I think he's better than McAdoo. I think he's better than Yalen. That's my opinion. Again, if you want to run Wilt and be cheesy and run that long lineup, do what you guys got to do. I'm just saying that's not the way I play. It's not. I like power forwards that can go get me a bucket. Jaren is the best guy, especially knocking down with that release. I think he's really good. Şengün up next. He's A tier. I mean, he is that tier. I've used him. The card's good. Paul Pierce, I don't see it with Paul Pierce. I just don't. Is he any better than T-Mac? I don't know. I'm throwing him at the same tier. Karl Malone, I do think, is solid. The tough part for me with Karl Malone is he can't really handle the ball. I do think he is A tier, though. And that's me. Because as far as like a spot-up power forward guy, would I rather have Karl Malone or Anthony Davis? I probably am taking Karl Malone. And so I guess I'm moving Anthony Davis down. I guess I'm moving Şengün down. I guess, like, if I have to choose, I have to choose. And this is what I would choose. Not that I really want to do this, but I think this is probably the right way to do things. Again, I don't necessarily even love the fact that I'm doing this, but I think it is the right way to go about things. Jay Rich up next. I mean, offensively, Jay Rich is elite. The problem lies defensively. But I think, like, and this is the part I struggle with, because Jay Rich is so good offensively. But it's like every time I use him defensively, he struggles. And so, I think he's A tier, but I think I'd rather have Kawhi Leonard over him. Like, does that make sense? I think that's where I'm at with Jay Rich. I think the card's good, but I don't think he's great. Kyrie, F. Trae Young, F. Rudy G. A stud. I mean, is he as good as Paolo or Bron? I think it's preference. I'm personally taking Paolo and Bron over him. Now, a lot of people would take Rudy over Paolo. So, it's really preference. I think I've got to throw him at S, but I'm taking Paolo and Bron over him, and I want you guys to know and realize that. Julius Randle, Timberwolves legend. Probably B tier. I like Randle, but I think he is B tier on this game. D'Lo, C tier, not great at all. Vlade is actually a really solid big on this game, and I think I've got to go A tier. It pains me to put Vlade at A tier when Şengün is B tier, but I think Vlade at 7-1 does enough to be that A tier. Steve Francis, nearly unusable, D tier. The card stinks. Vucevic. Vooch is actually decent. I think I've got to go B tier, but Vooch is decent. Like, if you get Vooch, he actually is playable at that B tier. Rudy Gobert up next. I'm going to go A tier, right? Like, right in there with Wilt Chamberlain. Again, I mean, if you want to argue that both these cards should be higher, then you can. I'm just saying, for me, I think this is a fair place to have Rudy Gobert at A tier, right there with Wilt Chamberlain. OG Anunoby, really solid card up next. I think I got to go right in there with Kawhi at A tier. If you want to argue B tier, that's fine, but I think he's better than a guy, let's say, like a Jimmy Butler. Drazen, a lot of people would put Drazen right up there with Jay Rich, and honestly, I don't disagree with that. Like, I think Drazen, again, is better than Jimmy Butler. And so I know defensively he's not going to be great, but neither is J-Rich. And so again, it's just tough. But I think with what they give you offensively, you've got to hype the cards up a little bit. Lowry Marketing, interesting card. Obviously, with the duo, he's better. Without the duo, the card is still fine. And that's, I think, a misconception with the community is like, Lowry can't be used without the duo. He still can. He's obviously way better with the duo. I'm going to go A tier with the duo. And you could honestly argue S tier with the duo. I'm just going to go overall A tier for Lowry. I think the card's good. Jamal Crawford, honestly, isn't that bad. I'm going to go B tier. I just wish his player build was slightly better. David West actually is pretty solid. I am going to go B tier with David West. But I want you guys to know I like David West quite a bit. And so if you want to argue A tier for David West, I'm not going to be the one to say you're wrong. I'm just not. I think David West is actually really, really solid on this game. And a card that I don't think is talked about enough for how good he is. Like, does that make sense? Like, I think David West is actually really solid on this game. Kuz is not that good. I am gonna, I guess, go B tier because at least his release does go on very quick. He plays some defense. If that happens, though, I got to move David West up. I just feel like David West is better than KD. David West is, I think I'm putting him at A tier. I'm not saying David West is perfect. He's probably low A, but I am putting him at A tier. I sort by position, so I'm not ranking these cards, but I do think he's that good. Gilbert, B tier, not great. Brad Beal, C tier probably. I think Brad Beal is not great whatsoever. Kyle Korver is elite on this game, and when I say that, no, I mean it. But is he as good as Galaxy Opal Paul George? I just don't think I can put him in that same tier. Like, he is good, but like compared to Galaxy Opal Paul George, it's just tough for me to be that high on him. A tier for Korver, I think, is the right tier. RJ Barrett up next. I just think the upper on that release is cooked. I don't mind RJ's stats. I don't mind his badges. Who did I use the other day that had RJ Barrett's upper and it just cooked the release? Like, he had whoever has the LaMarcus Aldridge base with the RJ Barrett upper, the release is kind of cooked because of that upper. I'm just telling y'all that right now. Tony Allen is not good, D tier. I mean, he is not good whatsoever. Chris Mullin actually isn't bad. I do think... And here's the hard part. Like, I've not got the chance to use Chris Mullin. Why? Because the card is incredibly rare and I don't want to buy him, but... his stats and honestly badges look good. I'm throwing him at A tier. I don't think he's as good at Korver though. I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. Hate me if you want. I'm doing it. Kyle Korver's going to S tier. Hate me if you want, but I'm doing it. Caruso A tier. It's just in my opinion. It's actually tough. This actually gets tough because I do think Caruso is deserving of S tier. With what he gives you stats, with what he gives you defensively, you guys can hate me, but I do think he deserves S tier. And here's where things are gonna get really complex. Ricky Davis is S tier too. And so here's where things get really crazy. Because I do like Paul George more than Ricky Davis, probably slightly. But like Ricky Davis is better than J-Rich, Chris Mullin, Draws, and like he's better than all those cards. And so like I think Ricky Davis offensively is, you know, the caliber of a guy like J-Rich, and it's just defensively, he gives you more. Hedo Turkoglu isn't as good. Hedo, I think, overall is B tier. I actually think the card is somewhat of a letdown. Although in the gameplay it looked okay, I do think Hedo's a letdown. I think Gerald Wallace is better than Hedo. I do. And Hedo's a weird card, but I think Gerald Wallace is deserving of A tier. People want to gas Gerald Wallace all the way up to S tier. Some people do. I mean, I see it. I see how they get there, right, with what he gives you defensively. I just don't think he's as good as LeBron James side by side. But Gerald Wallace is obviously really solid. This is one of, in my opinion, the tougher tier lists that I've done recently. Just because, again, there's a lot of talent at this Galaxy Opal tier. And it's tough. Like, if you're serious, you know, Alex Caruso versus Penny Hardaway. Some people really might prefer Penny Hardaway. And so I think it does get pretty tough here. But hopefully you guys understand why, you know, I rank cards where I did. And again, hopefully it makes sense to everyone. That is going to wrap it up for our video today. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.